If you grew up in Britain, these are the films you watched with your family, quoted with your mates, and still remember decades later. Here are the classic British movies we all loved. 1. The Italian Job, 1969. Let's kick off with a true legend, The Italian Job. Released in 1969, this Michael Caine classic is the ultimate British caper. Mini Coopers racing through Turin, Cockney banter, and a heist that's as stylish as it is chaotic. The film drew over 2.5 million viewers in UK cinemas and has a Rotten Tomatoes score of 81%. Michael Caine's Charlie Croker became an instant icon, and his line,
"You're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off,"
is still quoted today. The film ends on a literal cliffhanger, with the gang's bus teetering over a ravine, leaving audiences everywhere shouting at the screen. That unresolved ending is part of why The Italian Job has stayed in our hearts for generations. 2. Kes, 1969. Ken Loach's Kes is a masterpiece of British realism. Released in 1969, it tells the story of Billy Casper, a working-class Yorkshire boy who finds hope and freedom in training a kestrel. The film was a critical hit with a 100% Rotten Tomatoes score and became a staple of school English lessons and Sunday afternoon telly. David Bradley's performance as Billy is heartbreaking, and the film's ending, where Billy's beloved kestrel is killed by his brother, left audiences devastated. Kes is a film that made us cry, made us think, and made us proud of British cinema. 3. Zulu, 1964. Zulu is the epic that made Michael Caine a star, released in 1964. It retells the Battle of Rorke's Drift, where a handful of British soldiers held off thousands of Zulu warriors. The film was a box office smash, drawing huge crowds and becoming a bank holiday TV tradition. Caine's Lieutenant Bromhead and Stanley Baker's Lieutenant Chard are unforgettable. And the stirring final scenes, where the Zulus salute the British survivors, gave everyone goosebumps. Men of Harlech still echoes in the minds of anyone who watched it. 4. The Railway Children, 1970. A family classic if ever there was one. The Railway Children, 1970, is the story of 3 siblings who move to the countryside and befriend a mysterious old man at the local railway. Jenny Agutter's performance as Bobby is iconic, and the film's emotional climax, "Daddy, my daddy," is one of the most moving moments in British cinema. The film was a huge hit, with millions watching both in cinemas and on TV, and it holds a 100% Rotten Tomatoes score. The happy ending with the family reunited left everyone in tears of joy. 5. Carry On Up the Khyber, 1968. No list of British classics is complete without a Carry On. Carry On Up the Khyber, 1968, is the best of the bunch. Saucy jokes, Sid James's infectious laugh, and Kenneth Williams's immortal line, "Infamy, infamy, they've all got it in for me." The film was a box office hit, drawing over 1.5 million viewers, and remains a favourite for its cheeky humour and send-up of British stiff upper lips. The final dinner scene, where the officers calmly eat while chaos erupts around them, is pure comedy gold. 6. The Wicker Man, 1973. The Wicker Man, 1973, is the cult horror that haunted a generation. Edward Woodward stars as Sergeant Howie, investigating a disappearance on a remote Scottish island. Christopher Lee's Lord Summerisle is both charming and terrifying. The film's ending, where Howie is sacrificed in a giant burning wicker man, left audiences shocked and speechless. With a Rotten Tomatoes score of 90%, The Wicker Man is still celebrated for its folk soundtrack, eerie atmosphere, and unforgettable twist. 7. Quadrophenia, 1979. Quadrophenia, 1979, captured the spirit of youth rebellion like nothing else. Based on The Who's rock opera, it follows Jimmy, Phil Daniels, a mod caught between Brighton's beaches, scooter chases, and the chaos of 1960s Britain. The film's soundtrack is legendary, and the cast, Leslie Ash, Sting, and Ray Winstone, became icons. The climactic scene with Jimmy riding his scooter off a cliff is as powerful now as it was then. Quadrophenia is a rite of passage for every British teenager, and its legacy lives on in every Parker and Lambretta. 8. The Ladykillers, 1955, TV staple in the 60s-70s. The Ladykillers is a black comedy masterpiece. Alec Guinness leads a gang of hapless crooks who rent a room from sweet old Mrs. Wilberforce. Katie Johnson, Peter Sellers, and Herbert Lom round out the cast. The film's blend of dark humour and slapstick made it a TV staple in the 60s and 70s, and its Rotten Tomatoes score is a near-perfect 98%. The ending with the gang undone by their own incompetence is both hilarious and oddly satisfying. 9. Gregory's Girl, 1981. Gregory's Girl, 1981 is the sweet, awkward coming-of-age story set in a Scottish school. John Gordon Sinclair's Gregory is hopelessly in love with footballer Dorothy, Dee Hepburn, and the film's gentle humour and charm made it an instant classic. The cast of quirky characters, especially Gregory's little sister, are unforgettable. The film was a hit with critics and audiences, and its ending with Gregory finally finding romance, just not with Dorothy, is as heartwarming as it gets. 10. Chariots of Fire, 1981. Chariots of Fire, 1981, is the Oscar-winning drama about British runners Eric Liddell and Harold Abrahams at the 1924 Olympics. The film's iconic Vangelis theme, slow-motion running scenes, and message of determination made it a global hit. It won 4 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, and was a box office smash. The final race, with Liddell's victory and Abraham's triumph, left audiences inspired and proud. I believe God made me for a purpose, but he also made me fast. A line that still gives us chills. These were the films that brought us together, at the cinema, on the sofa, or huddled around the telly on a rainy Sunday. They made us laugh, cry, and sometimes hide behind the cushions. They gave us catchphrases, heroes, and stories we still tell today. Some of these classics are still celebrated, while others have faded into nostalgia. But if you grew up in Britain, you know these movies by heart. They're part of our shared history, our family memories, and our national identity. Which classic British film do you remember most? And which one would you love to see on the big screen again? Share your favourites in the comments, because some movies are too good to stay forgotten.